take care of myself, I dove into him and I gained a lot of weight and I never lost my baby weight. And so when I got pregnant with the second one, I had gestational diabetes. And that was just devastating to me for so many different reasons. So I completely got on the bandwagon and really, I already knew what to do, but I wasn't doing it. But I got on the bandwagon of what to do and really started taking care of myself. So from the time that I had the second baby with the third, we've been talking about health and nutrition and foods. You know, I was the mom who I didn't let sugar come into the house until they went to school. I was mom that didn't allow the video games until they started hanging out with friends. You know, it all kind of changes, but I had that mindset. We're going to live the healthiest lifestyle possible. So I'm thankful that they listen to me and that they follow and that they are a part of this nutrition lifestyle that we so generally love and are so passionate about. So I'm really glad that you guys are here with us today. What we talk about tonight is all done with integrity, and it really is vulnerable. We're going to share stories like we always do from our hearts, and our presenters have always agreed to be real and raw, authentic, and really just share what they go through. But just know that these are their stories. We can't promise or, you know, control anything that happens to somebody else, but they are going to share as much as they can from their heart. So hopefully you guys really enjoy everything that happens. And if it excites you what they're talking about, great. If you want to just be here to smile and laugh, great. If you just want to be in a community of people who are smiling and happy and positive, we're here every Thursday. So next Thursday, we are going to talk about mental health. This will be a little bit of a different one. This one may dive deep, but we want to invite you or anyone that you know that might need this right now and receive some free mental help. It will always tie in with our nutrition. But we want to help as many people as possible. And again, if that's just to smile or laugh or be in a community, or if we can educate you on how we bring this health into our lives, we want to be able to serve as much as possible. And we'll do this every Thursday. I want to introduce our first presenter. I'm so excited. I got to meet Anne-Marie for the first time about 9 months ago. And she is just a ball of fire. She lights up every room when she comes in and really has the ability to make people smile as well as laugh. So our first presenter is Anne-Marie Spilatro. She is a single mom of 2. She joined our nutrition program 6.5 years ago. And she's been keeping herself and her children on this path ever since she started, which she really came into the program to learn how to have better health habits. She, of course, wanted to lose a little bit of weight after the babies were born, but it was all about taking care of herself, which she'll be sharing throughout her story. So, Anne-Marie, thank you so much for being here and sharing.
Oh my gosh, what a wonderful welcome, Stephanie. Thank you so much. And thank you for being such an amazing leader and beacon of light, not only to me, but to so many others on this call and all over the world, because I know you have a big, beautiful team. My nerves just got me a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I started 6.5 years ago, and I was very skeptical and very quiet about it. But I was going down a road of unhealthy habits. Well, let me backtrack. I had a 6-month-old little girl and a 22-month-old son when I started. I was developing bad habits, eating habits, going back to an eating disorder that I struggled with for a very long time. And I knew what I was doing was not serving me as a mother or myself. So my friend shared this with me and I was like, no, I'm good. But then I watched her, and about a month later, I looked in the mirror and I realized what I was doing was not helping me. So I said, okay, I will sign up. So I did, and within 5 days, it was like a weight had lifted off my shoulder. I lost a few pounds, which was one of my goals, but really my mental health, like that box was hope to me because I wasn't binging and I wasn't doing these bad things that I was falling into. Within 3 months, I had lost almost 40 pounds and 50 inches, and I was never going to go back. I went on a trip, and I'm from a big Italian family, and it's about a month and a half into it. And when I came back, I had bread and wine and all that stuff. I had still lost weight. So I was like, I'm an absolute lifer. I kind of started sharing it, but I was also working full time in my mortgage lending career. things happened with life. I became a single mom. And if I could tell you guys, if it wasn't for Isagenix, I don't know what would have happened to my health. Like, I am absolutely so grateful for this company, for the community that was growing and building around me, of friendships like Stephanie and so many others on this call that, you know, I didn't know, you know. And sorry, I got sidetracked by what I was looking at. And so my kids have been submerged in this culture too. So my daughter started having shakes and little bit things when she turned 1, and my son was 2. They're total Isa kids. They love their vitamins. Like, my son loves me like when I make pancakes and things like that with the shake and everything. And it's just really become a part of our life and our lifestyle. A year later is when I did my first Isa Body Challenge, and I've always done them since then, because that community is another source of support, which I absolutely love and adore. It keeps that lifestyle moving and going. And another thing I'm so grateful for is, now that I've started sharing, I have an income from it. And that income grows each week, and I'm able to help other people, other moms, you know, come out of that rut, or other dads. Like, I don't limit it to only moms or single moms or whatever. Like, it's really helping everybody. And right now, our health is more important than ever. And I believe that our health is built upon daily, consistent habits. And I've been creating those for myself and my children for the last 6.5 years. And so being able to turn around and help coach, teach, and train others is just an amazing thing. And Isagenix as a whole, they give us so much, and they also give back so much. So the fact that my kids see that, and well, we can't go pick up at Isagenix right now, but they know where we're going. They go inside, they say hi to everybody. They know that they're picking up our food, you know, and now it's being delivered, and my daughter runs out and she opens up the box, and it's just amazing. And I know that their little bodies are being nourished. So I don't know, I'm just forever grateful. And to lead and live the healthy lifestyle. Yeah, that's me. And my kids are Charlotte, she's now 7, and my son Christopher John is 8. And that was us in the fall out in California. But they really are the light of my life. And Charlotte says to me, like, I'm like, what do you want to be when she grows up? She's like, I want to be on your Isagenix team, Mommy. And it's just really, really sweet that they see that, and they'll jump on calls. I'm surprised that they're not in here right now crawling all over me. They're actually listening to me, which is a shocker. So yeah, I mean, just now the food's delivered to the doorstep, and you know, the income coming in and everything, and it's just truly a blessing and an opportunity to get healthy, get your nutrition, surround yourself with an amazing community. You know, I mean, there's how many of us on the call tonight, which is just awesome. And yeah, I think that's my little share. But I get to introduce Carolee next. I haven't met her, I've just seen her on the Zoom tonight, but she's a mother of 5 kids. I thought I had my handful with 2 this quarantine, but you've got 5 kids. So I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. I hope I provided some value, and I hope to see you on next week's call. I'm looking forward to it, and have an amazing evening.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Carolee Fritz. As Anne-Marie said, I had to remember how to use Zoom. It's been a while since I've done a call. My husband Jake is actually going to be joining me as well, because he is part of our story, of course, with our family. And what brought me to Isagenix was, there's a lot of reasons that people come to Isagenix, and it's either inspiration or desperation. And I was kind of somewhere probably in between both of those. I always ate pretty clean and kept myself pretty healthy. I love to work out, go to gym. I was actually marathon training at the time when I was introduced to Isagenix. And I actually was not introduced as in someone came to me and said, hey, you should check this out. I was lucky enough to see Trisha's transformation, and also a lot of my other friends and neighbors who were also using the product. So I was seeing that happen with them. But in my own life, I looked a little different. I do have 5 children, and at the time, they were between the ages of 2 and 12. So I had my hands full for sure. And what was really frustrating was that I would make my family's meal and then my own meal, because I was trying to eat clean and I was marathon training as well. And so I would do like, spaghetti or whatever for them. And then I'd make like a green smoothie, and I would go through all these different diets. Jake can attest for a lot of these, where I would cut out carbs, or I would cut out sugar, or I would try all these different things. And sometimes my mood was all over the place. I would be a little crazy. And anyway, I hope you can you guys all see me? I don't know if you can all see me. Anyway, but what would happen was it was taking away my time freedom. And it was also frustrating, because even though I was eating clean and doing all those things that I thought I should be doing, I was not finding results, and I was still tired. So even though I would marathon train, I would come home and kind of crash on the couch by mid-afternoon. There's my photos. And actually I was training for this epic trip to the Great Wall of China Marathon. I had a girlfriend living there, and my marathon training was not going well. I was really, really struggling. And so I did start to research protein powders or supplements, because I just felt like, well, it's my age, I'm getting older and I just can't do the things I was used to doing. And that's when I kept coming back to Isagenix. And so I actually went to my sponsor and said, I need to try this. I need to do this. And I found out later that my girlfriend, who also knew Trisha, in China, who was living there at the time, was also using Isagenix. And she was so excited that I was using products as well, and had me pack a whole suitcase of products to bring to her, which was so funny. But I was a little upset, because I was like, why didn't anyone tell me this? And I think sometimes we're afraid of being salesy. We're afraid of what are people going to think if we're selling this or if we're sharing this. And it's just natural. We do this all the time, right? You go to a movie that you love, you tell people on Facebook, or you tell your family. And that's kind of what happened with this. Is I saw them changing. I saw these products, but I was afraid to share them at first until. And that was after day 3 of using the products. I literally felt a light switch flip on inside of me. I remember getting down on the floor after the older kids were off to school and playing with my boys, and I started to cry. And it's so emotional, because I couldn't remember the last time I had gotten down on the floor and played with my boys, because I was just too tired. I was overwhelmed, and I just did not feel that energy. So needless to say, 8 weeks later, when I was doing the Great Wall of China Marathon, my recovery was so much better. 4 days later, we were actually surfing in Bali. I took my daughter, who was 12 at the time, my oldest, and I remember sitting on that surfboard thinking, how could I not share this gift? How could I not share this with people that I love or care about, so that they know that there is a solution out there for them as well? And what also happened, which I was so excited about, is that my husband watched me, and several weeks after I started the products, he did as well. And we'll let him share his quick story, and then we'll go on to sharing some of the products that helped us achieve these goals.
Hey everybody, it's really good to be here. It's been a while since I've been on one of these, so I was excited when Carolee asked me to jump on. I'm not real great about being brief or quick, but I'll give it a shot here. So like Carolee said, I watched her take the products for a couple of weeks. I was about as skeptical can get. Like our friend Lindsay, when she dropped her box off to Carolee, I kind of sat on a couch and scowled and didn't even realize I was scowling, right?
True story.
But after seeing the effects that these products had on her, not only physically, but in terms of her countenance and her mood, I was like, you know what? I got to turn a corner quick. So I was about, I would say probably a good 70 to 80 pounds overweight. I'm a realtor by trade, and so I'm always coming and going. My life is a little bit unpredictable in terms of my schedule. And so, my fuel every day was basically a good regimen of like Taco Bell, anything from QT. I was actually pretty close to being sponsored by Hostess, I think, at one point. So that was my fuel, right? And so I was going through this constant cycle of sugar and caffeine crashes. And by the time I actually ended up at home each night, I was dead tired. Like I literally had nothing left, and my body felt like it had just fought a war. My knees were starting to creak when I was going up the stairs, and I knew that my health was headed in a direction that was not good. I said, I need to do something to get change going quickly. And so I thought, well, let me give this a shot. Let me see what it's all about. And, to cut to the chase, after, gosh, probably the first 5 or 10 days, I felt totally different. I won't lie to you and say I loved my first cleanse, but I sure loved how I felt the morning after that second cleanse day. There was this mental fog that I didn't realize was there that had lifted. And for me, the weight came off pretty easily. By about 4 to 6 weeks in, I had energy I hadn't had in years. So I started going to the gym to start to work some of that off. And within about 6 to 7 months, I had lost 80 pounds. I had eventually gained about 10 to 15 pounds of muscle mass because of my workouts and my new routines. And gosh, this has been it's going on 6 years. And so 6 years in, life happens. I have had a few ups and downs, but the thing that I'm most grateful for, aside from the mental clarity and the community, is the fact that throughout this period of 5 or 6 years, I never really got out of the habit of having my 2 shakes a day, having Isagenix in the morning, even just doing cleanses occasionally. I found over the last few weeks when we've been quarantined, I've had an opportunity to jump back into some of those healthier habits, and I've lost about 10, 12 pounds just from slipping back into the routine. And it's so easy to do once you have it established. So anyway, I am a firm believer with Carolee that everyone needs to know about these products. It's really hard to know what you're buying if you want to try to get healthy. It's hard to figure out what you're supposed to eat because everyone has an opinion and they're all broadcast on the internet. So with this, it's something we know our family's gotten better for. We've grown together physically and spiritually and mentally from it. And that's about as short as I can make my story. So I'll turn the time back to you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So what I was so excited about with Jake's story is that it wasn't just me doing my health regimen and then my family doing something totally separate. So after, probably about a month of Jake using the products, we were sharing it because everyone was seeing our results, and we didn't really have to tell anyone. They were coming up to us and saying, what are you doing? Because as you can tell, my transformation was more internal and with my endurance and more physical, how I felt, and mental, where his was really obvious on the outside. 80 pounds is really hard to hide that you've lost 80 pounds. So we were really lucky that way that he was kind of like our advertising, even though I kept telling everyone I'm not doing a business. I don't have time for that. Like, as you remember, I had 5 kids between 2 and 12. Well, over the years, 6 years of using these products, and I've always every day, there's at least a shake that goes into my body, and our needs change. And what I really love about Isagenix is that it gives you purpose and it gives you community. But now I have an 8-year-old up to an 18-year-old. My oldest just started college, and she has loved these products to use at school. It's affordable, and it's easy. It's fast. Like when her roommates were home cooking meals before their classes, she had a shake when was out the door, and she loved it. And she really got got really committed to her health in college. And now she's doing yoga and soccer. She's actually started sharing Isagenix with some of her friends as well, and using it and getting that side residual income, which makes me so happy because it's something that I didn't really see coming when I started just using products. So I kind of want to share a little bit of the products. We have so many more products now than we did when we started. This one was the game changer for me. I'm going to hold it close here. This is our Cleanse for Life. And I believe this was really the missing ingredient for me. This was a cleanse. Is not a poopy cleanse. Don't worry if you've never cleansed before. Don't be afraid of that word. It's basically assisted intermittent fasting, which you've all heard a ton about, I'm sure, right now, because it's all over the media and news because it is so effective. But this is basically like having an assisted fast, but all these ingredients in your cleanse keep your body nourished while you give your digestive system a break. And it was on my second cleanse day that I felt that burst of energy and knew this was totally different than anything I'd ever tried. I also lost a lot of that sticky fat around my organs, and I was shrinking. I didn't lose a ton of weight, but I shrunk. I lost about 4 sizes. That's crazy to me that I went from like a 10-12 to like a 2-4 just by cleansing and using my shakes, not changing my workout routine at all. So that was one thing that I totally love is my cleanse. I'm gonna have Jake talk about Isagenix here. That's what this looks like. And this is something that we drink every single morning, whether we are cleansing or not.
All right, so this stuff, the Isagenix Supreme, if you're not familiar with it, it's something everybody needs. So basically, it's a tonic of, trace minerals and adaptogens, which, and adaptogens just very quickly are, they are ingredients, substances that are found in plants all over the world that basically allow your body to adapt to stress. In many ways, your brain can't really distinguish between physical, mental, or emotional stress. And so these adaptogens that are in the Ionics help you kind of brace yourself for whatever you're going through. So, it's just as effective at calming your nerves before bed as it is kind of perking you up in the morning, because it helps you with those transitional periods throughout the day.
And I see, if you look in the comments of all the nicknames, it's totally true. Like if you're all couples, and everyone should use Ionics. We always joke around on the freeway if someone's driving terribly that they haven't had their Ionics. This is probably the most popular item in our household. It is the Isagenix shake. The thing I love about it, it's simple, it's affordable. It is a full meal replacement, 24 vitamins and minerals. It has, or 24 grams of undenatured whey protein. Amazing, amazing products. My kids love the shakes. And this was kind of the core products I started with right here. That's really all we had, and then our vitamins. But we have this whole incredible line now, which I am loving, is our amped line. And you can get with whoever added you to this call, and they can share all of the wonderful, they can send you some more information in depth on all the products that we have. But the amped line is something that Jake and I and my oldest use all the time. In fact, it's so funny. She's writing her name on her products now because she buys them herself, and she's very protective. This is one of our favorites right now. And these are probably Jake's favorite. He goes every morning with the greens now.
All right. So for you ladies out there who have husbands and kids who aren't particularly fond of vegetables, this stuff is magic. The greens have been recently reformulated, so they are a full serving of, like 2 full servings of vegetable per scoop. The taste took me a little bit to get used to, but it's my drink every morning. I actually mix it with the Ionics, and I know that, before I really even start my day, I've had 2 servings of vegetables, trace minerals, and it's killer.
So good. And my kids will even pick the greens over, sometimes if I don't know any little boys that eat salads. If you can get your little boys to eat salads, great. I can get them to eat vegetables now if I steam them or roast them. Will not eat salads, but they will drink their greens. So I love that. This is my kids' favorite item right now. This is so good. They love the cookies and cream Isagenix shakes. We have strawberry and cookies and cream. This is the best thing, especially for all of us stuck at home right now. My kids are raiding the pantry constantly in the fridge, but they know they can always make a shake for a snack. And this is the bomb. It's so yummy. In fact, I sometimes mix this one with my chocolate because it's so good.
Oh yeah.
But I love that it's in kid-size
portions
of what the vitamins and minerals they need. It takes the guesswork out. But what I love most about the system is this works in with the food that you're already eating. It just gives you that extra nutrition, and you mirror that with a cleanse. So you've got your shake days, and you have a couple days a month that you take that break and have a cleanse, and it is literally game changing. And that's pretty much all the time I have. I was kind of talking about product, but I'm so thankful to talk to you guys and tell you about our story, because I am so passionate. It's changed not just myself. It started for me wanting to lose a few pounds and do well in a marathon, to changing how my family views health. We don't really buy junk food very much anymore. They were so excited if I bought ramen during this quarantine, because I don't buy that stuff. They really don't crave it. And I know they're still getting power punch with nutrition during the day. So I get to introduce now Kelly D, and I've actually met Kelly, and she is a spunky, fun woman. And that's another wonderful thing about Isagenix, is you really get to know other people in the company, and they're wonderful, just amazing leaders. But Kelly is a mom of 4. She's been using the system for 5 years, including while she was pregnant and nursing her 4th child. Prior to Isagenix, she did a lot like me, using a paleo diet for 2 years. She's really passionate about what real health means. So welcome, Kelly. We'll put the time over to you.
Thank you so much, Carly. Man, I wanted to piggyback and say so many things every time you said something. The greens, I am not above bribery, okay? If my kids want a cookie, I'm like, yep, you can have some. Let's have a green juice first. And I'll mix green juice, Ionics, and immunity, and they drink it. Oh, there's a picture of my daughter drinking it right there. I mean, it's good. They don't, I mean, my 3-year-old is drinking it. So also, I only make one meal. Who's got time for that, right? Shakes save us though. Okay, so I want to share 2 tips with you guys that I think will help you tremendously, especially during this time. And then I'm going to share with you kind of how our routine or lack thereof routine during this time and kind of how I work the business side into it. So first tip, if there was one goal that I wish all of you would do, just one thing, I would ask you to make working out. One goal all day long. The only thing you're supposed to worry about in every day is to work out. Because I know you're still going to homeschool. I know you're still going to work. I know you're going to do those things, but you might, if you make working out your number one goal, you're going to get the workout in, and then you're still going to homeschool and you're still going to do your work, right? So get that in, and it's so important for our health, guys. And I'm not saying you have to sweat for an hour a day. Maybe just take a really brisk 30-minute walk. That's all. Just get outside and move your body. Okay, the second tip that I want to share with you guys. Our basic system says 2 shakes a day. Why in the world are we only doing 2 shakes a day? If anything, if you know, because I did paleo diet before, I truly believe Isagenix is literally the healthiest food on this planet. I believe that. It is so clean, and I know that because I've been in Isagenix for over 5 years now, and I've gone to their events and I've dived deep into it, and I'm passionate about that, right? So I know how clean they are. I know how dense the macronutrients and the micronutrients, the vitamins and minerals that are in these shakes. Why are we only having 2? And if you're not having 2, don't tell me, because I'm going to yell at you if I find out you're only having 2. Or you're not having 2. So when in doubt, have that 3rd shake or 4th shake, because they're so. Okay, my routine or lack thereof, you guys. So when this whole thing started, the first week was like a free-for-all. I was like, oh, this is so exciting. We're going to homeschool. And I mean, it was literally a shit show. Like it was such a disaster. The house was like a hurricane hit it. The kids were all over the place. It was not pretty at all. And so the next week, I was like, all right, we're going to have a schedule. Kids are going to be dressed. Their hair is going to be combed. Teeth are going to be brushed. Everybody's having breakfast all before 8 o'clock. When 8 o'clock hits, we're doing math from 8 to 8:45, taking a break, and then we're going from 9:15 to 10 o'clock, and we're doing language arts. Oh my gosh, that was also a shit show. It was so bad. It was a disaster. There was tears. There was frustrations. I'm over here trying to help them. I mean, me trying to help 3 kids do 3 different levels of math, plus try to entertain a 3-year-old. What? It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So I want to share something with you, and I have to read it because it's too long for me to memorize, but it'll be fast. But I want to read it to you because I started homeschool back when my oldest was in kindergarten. Completely different story now, but I 110% believe this, and I want you guys to know this so that you're not too stressed about it. Stephanie, this is going to be funny for you when I read this. Okay, this is coming from a woman who has homeschooled for 12 years. She says, as an experienced homeschooler, I want to let parents know that your elementary child only needs 1 to 2 hours a day of school. Your middle schooler needs 2 to 3 hours, and your high schooler needs 3 to 4 hours. Please do not expect them to spend 6 to 8 hours of school per day, unless they love academics, right, Stephanie? That is not how homeschooling works. There are many resources available to you. Use them. Let them sleep in. It's good for their immune system. Let them be part of the planning. Talk to them about what they want to work on. What are their passions? Let them be entrepreneurs. I feel like all our kids are going to eventually be entrepreneurs. That's their age. That's their generation. No need to get dressed, right? Like, why? Sometimes it's nice, but it doesn't have to be. Include 1 hour outside. Again, the sun is great for the immunity. Spend 1 hour reading. Okay, I want to share this book with you. It's called Hideout. It's about for kids ages 10 and up. This is a page turner, you guys. This is homeschooling right here. My stepmom sent this to my son a couple days ago for his birthday, and my son doesn't love to read. He doesn't. And so I'll read it to you. I love it so much too. It's so good. Drop a little, it has some swear words in it, but it's good. It's really appropriate. That's why it's for 10 and older, I think. So if they're mature enough, then it's good. Hide it out. Seriously, page turner. We're halfway through it already. Chore time. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this, but do not think that I have my life together, because I do not. It is crazy here. But yesterday, my 3-year-old she dumps all the garbage cans from the bathroom, which is such a tedious task that I absolutely hate. And if she could do it, and she does it so well, hallelujah, right? My daughter was vacuuming, my son was sweeping, and my older son was blowing off the back patio. Guys, that is homeschooling. Those are the things that they can do, and don't let them fool you. They can do it. They can play us moms, right? They're like, oh, I can get away with murder sometimes. Okay, cook together, right? Measuring, like, if something calls for half a cup of flour, oh, I can't find my half measuring cup, then use a 4th cup, and a 4th cup equals a half cup. Use that as your homeschool math. This is a stressful time for all of us. Don't make it worse by stressing out about school, right? Like, we have a very basic thing. We say, okay, so now this is what everybody has to do throughout the day. Get it done, and then you can be on your computers, or do this so much, then take a little bit of a break. And it's been so much less stressful if I don't have to freak out, right? And when it's time to help them, I'm sitting down, focusing. I'm like, okay, I'm doing the math. I'm leaving my phone in the other room. I'm leaving my watch in the other room, because I don't want the distractions. It's so much nicer to not have distractions. And my coach, Brent, and my friends Brent and Tracy, have become such good friends with them since starting Isagenix. He's told me something at the beginning that I will never forget. And he told me that in network marketing, there are no emergencies. And it is so true, and it is so good. I was just having people message me today about which shake flavors and all this. It can wait. It can wait an hour until I'm done working with my son, and vice versa, right? If I'm working, the kids, they can wait too. So why I want to be just completely honest with you guys, because being honest is super cool, right? And I'm super fly. I do not have to do this business. And I'm not saying that to brag or anything. I'm super grateful, because my husband's income is enough to pay for our family of 6, right? So there's 2 reasons why I do the business. One of them is because I'm never, ever stop using the products, ever. It has been 5+ years, and I've put Isagenix in my body every day because of the transformation I've had. It is phenomenal. And I want everybody I know to also have that. It's a gift that I feel doing a disservice if I don't share it. So I'm going to share it, right? I'm going to share it. And Isagenix is like, thanks for sharing it. Here's cash. They're not just saying, here's products. That is an option if you want to do that. But they're giving me cash to share it with people. And I mean, with my husband, his income is our income. My income is my income, right? Okay, but what does my income pay for? It pays for all of my products, all of my Isagenix products, and we're a family of 6. That is, we go through a lot. I've doubled my BIA and my Ionics, especially lately, right? We go through a lot of products. It also pays for all of my events that I go to, all the business events. We love, because you learn so much about Isagenix and what it really truly is. And it also pays for all the Lululemon addiction that I have. Like, I need to have 20 pairs of Lululemons, and I can use my Isagenix money to pay for that, right? And I don't need to get questions from my husband. Okay, but the other reason why, and I'm gonna wrap it up right here. The other reason why I choose to do the Isagenix business is I love it, but I know that I don't necessarily have to have it financially, but I know there's other people out there that are counting on me to share the business because they need it financially. Guys, it's so important. Money is such a stressor right now. It's so important that we share it with people. And if it's not for them, that's totally okay. It's totally okay. But they're not going to know it if we don't share it, right? Okay, so that's my wrap on just get your workout in every day. When in doubt, have that third shake or fourth shake and share the business because it's truly, truly a gift. Share the business, share the shakes. It's a gift. Back to you, Stephanie.
Oh my, wow. What a great evening. You guys just cracked me up all night long, gave me so many visuals, but then at the same time made it real. And real in a way that one, we have families and kids that can make us go crazy, but also we love them dearly and we want them to have the best lives ever. And so we're able to give them this nutrition, but vulnerable of sharing your stories and letting us have visuals of what the houses look like and what we're experiencing. But then also the visual of how we can calm down and how we can stay centered and all this nutrition and what it does for you and or for us. And then everyone being on the call tonight, this is our community. And so we want to thank every single one of you for being here today. If anything, I hope that you smiled. I hope you laughed. And I hope you really understand what this company does. We, as you can tell, we're so passionate about Isagenix and what the company does for us between the nutrition, the company themselves, the community, and the income. It is available to everyone. And that's one of the most exciting things. And we have just become alive with all that's happening in the world right now. We have created this community and this bubble, and we're all stepping up because we know we have nutrition to feed people. We know we have food that can be shipped directly to people. We know we have incomes that can come in while people aren't working right now or worried about the future. And we know that we are surrounded by the most incredible people. So I want to thank you, Anne Marie, Carolee, Jake, and Kelly. Thank you so much for coming on tonight, sharing from your heart, and just giving to all of these families. So guys, if you have any questions, get back to the person that invited you. We'll again be here next week talking about mental health and how the nutrition fits in, and any questions that we can have. We are a community that really, truly cares. We're here to serve, and we're here to be a part of your life however you want that to be. Thank you guys all so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Stephanie.